They tell you it was all an accident, a bang in the dark, chaotic particles colliding until, by some cosmic lottery, life appeared. You've heard the story, memorized it, maybe even repeated it. A lullaby of randomness to keep you from asking why. But have you ever really looked at the evidence? Everywhere you turn, there's precision. The planet's path through space, locked at a distance so exact it sustains oceans instead of boiling them away. Its companion in the sky, not just a rock, but a regulator of tides and seasons. The air you breathe, tuned with surgical accuracy, balanced so perfectly it seems almost impossible. These are not random splashes of paint on a cosmic canvas. They are deliberate strokes of intention. So ask yourself, who benefits from you believing it's all chance? Why is it easier, safer, to call it an accident than to question the narrative? And if someone or something built this system, what does that mean for you right now? For your choices? For your future? This isn't just science. This is a code written into reality itself, a hidden architecture daring you to break it. Tonight, we're not going to just observe facts. We're going to rip open the curtain, expose the machinery behind the universe, and confront a question older than humanity itself. What if it was all built on purpose? They tell you it all began with a bang, a random explosion billions of years ago, scattering dust and gas into the void. That's the story, the accepted story. But stop for a moment. Really stop. Look around you. The sunlight spilling into this room, perfectly measured, not too hot, not too cold. The air you breathe, a precise mixture that sustains every heartbeat, every cell. The water that flows, cycling endlessly, carrying nutrients, shaping landscapes, nourishing life. Gravity, invisible, constant, holding oceans, air, soil, everything in place. All of it perfectly aligned. Ask yourself, could this have arisen from chaos? Could a single mindless explosion produce oceans that never boil or freeze, winds that distribute heat just right, seasons that follow with quiet regularity? Could it have created molecules that fold themselves into proteins, DNA chains that encode life, ecosystems that interact with astonishing precision? Or is there something else? A presence unseen, a design hidden in plain sight, orchestrating every detail with patience and care. And yet, you cannot see it. You cannot touch it. Maybe it's not meant to be known, only observed. Still, the alignment presses on you. Every breath, every step, every glance at the sky whispers, this was not random. Someone or something arranged it all. We may call it a mystery, a creator, a designer, or simply the unknown. But to call it chance? That would demand ignoring everything around you, the order, the balance, the impossible precision that surrounds every living thing. So, what do you believe? That all of this, the earth, the oceans, the atmosphere, the laws of physics themselves, is the result of a mindless explosion? Or do you feel it in that quiet pressure building inside your thoughts, that it is something deliberate, something engineered, something with intention? The evidence is all around you, and yet the answer remains out of reach, a secret hidden behind the fabric of the world itself. Water rules this planet. It is not just a backdrop. It is the hidden network that connects all life. The cycle is relentless. Ocean water rises as vapor, drifts into the atmosphere, forms clouds, and then falls again as rain or snow, feeding rivers and soils before returning to the sea. This endless loop does not happen by chance. It stabilizes the climate, balances temperatures, and sustains ecosystems. The oceans cover 71% of Earth's surface, plunging to an average depth of 12,100 feet, 3,688 meters. They are not still. Currents like the Gulf Stream move more heat each day than all the world's energy plants combined, carrying warmth across continents, softening winters in Europe, and regulating weather worldwide. Meanwhile, deep-sea flows rise and fall like the planet's heartbeat, transporting nutrients from the abyss to feed life that could not survive otherwise. Freshwater is rare, almost astonishingly so. Less than 3% of Earth's water is drinkable, yet it is distributed across rivers, glaciers, and hidden underground reservoirs in just the right quantities to sustain forests, plains, and wetlands. Too little, and deserts would consume continents. Too much, and land would drown. The balance is razor-thin, and yet it holds. Water does more than exist. It engineers the world. It carves mountains into valleys, moves minerals across continents, nourishes roots, and even regulates the air we breathe through evaporation and rainfall. It is sculptor and sustainer, destroyer and creator. Look closely. This is not chaos. It is calculation. Not a coincidence, but the trace of a guiding hand. Every current, every drop, every storm suggests not randomness, but a system designed for life. The blueprint is invisible, but the signature is everywhere. Written in rivers, encoded in raindrops, whispered through waves. Earth's atmosphere isn't merely air. It is a barrier, a filter, a regulator, an invisible framework so precise it reads like engineering. Oxygen hovers around 21%, nitrogen at 78%, with trace gases completing the delicate mix. A touch more oxygen, and wildfires would ravage continents. A touch less, and complex life would suffocate. Yet here it stands, calibrated with astonishing precision, a planetary formula balanced to sustain millions of species. At sea level, pressure stabilizes at 14.7 pounds per square inch. This exact pressure preserves liquid water, drives weather systems, and powers the hydrological cycle as if the planet were a meticulously designed engine. Remove it, and rivers vanish. Clouds fail to form, and ecosystems collapse. Life itself depends on this invisible force, distributed evenly around the globe. But the atmosphere is not a passive shell. Jet streams race across the sky at hundreds of miles per hour, transporting heat from the equator to the poles. Trade winds carve rainfall patterns across deserts, forests, and grasslands, allotting water to each biome with astonishing regularity. Even the softest local breeze stirs oceans, spreads seeds, and pollinates crops, connecting ecosystems in subtle ways humans rarely perceive. Above, it is a shield. The ozone layer absorbs ultraviolet radiation that would otherwise shred DNA, while the broader atmosphere scatters cosmic rays, deflects charged particles, and dampens solar storms. Without this protection, every walk in sunlight would be lethal. Every growing season could be destroyed. The air we breathe is not simply a mixture of gases. It is armor, invisible yet absolute, a living defense system for the biosphere. Every storm functions as a release valve. Every cloud follows a natural equation. Every gust of wind is a cog in a mechanism operating with chilling precision. The atmosphere distributes energy, balances temperature, and shields life. A system so consistent it seems impossible to attribute to randomness alone. This is not chaos. It is calculated. Not an accident, but the trace of a guiding hand. Not coincidence, but the signature of Not coincidence, but the signature of an architect. And here lies the question no one fully answers. How did such a protective envelope form? Not too thick, not too thin, but exactly right. Random molecular collisions? A lucky fluke of chemistry? Or is it the mark of something greater? A hidden hand that built the very air we inhale, crafting a shield around life with deliberate intent. Earth circles the Sun at a distance of 93 million miles, 150 million kilometers, moving with a precision that feels less like chance and more like orchestration. Its orbit is nearly circular, keeping Earth neither too close to the solar furnace nor too far into the frozen dark. This delicate spacing is called the habitable zone, or more poetically, the Goldilocks zone. Not too hot, not too cold, but just right for liquid water. Shift the orbit inward, and oceans would boil, steam would thicken the skies, and Earth would resemble Venus, suffocating beneath a runaway greenhouse. Drift it outward, and the warmth would collapse, rivers would seize into ice, and Earth might become another Mars, dry and silent. Life depends on water that can flow, freeze, and evaporate in cycles. And only in this razor-thin band of distance is that balance possible. Yet distance alone is not enough. The Sun itself flickers with storms and magnetic tempests, but its energy output has remained steady for billions of years. Steady enough that life had time to emerge, adapt, and endure. Gravity and momentum hold Earth in its orbital groove, preventing it from spiraling into the Sun or drifting into the void. Planetary neighbors, especially Jupiter, act like guardians. With a mass more than 300 times that of Earth, Jupiter's immense gravity exerts a steadying influence, damping dangerous orbital shifts and keeping Earth's tilt from wobbling into chaos. At the same time, it sweeps up or deflects countless comets and asteroids, intercepting threats that could otherwise have sterilized our world. Without this giant holding its watch at the edge of our system, Earth's history might have ended in fire and ice long before it began. Day after day, year after year, this cosmic choreography sustains the fragile narrowness of life's window. Too many coincidences align. The orbit, the tilt, the speed, the gravitational partnerships. The result is not chaos, but continuity. A planet caught in a balance so perfect, it feels intentional. And that's the unsettling question. Was this orbit drawn by random chance, or placed deliberately, as though someone set Earth on a track designed to cradle life? Life depends on a network of chemical elements and reactions, tuned with astonishing precision. Carbon, with its ability to form 4 stable bonds, builds the backbone of complex molecules. Nitrogen, oxygen, and phosphorus cycle through air, water, and living tissue, sustaining energy and growth. Even trace elements like iron or zinc are indispensable, each unlocking reactions without which cells would fail. Proteins fold into exact shapes, becoming tools and engines for the cell. Enzymes, their catalysts, accelerate reactions by millions of times, making life possible on human timescales. DNA, a molecule over 6 feet, 1.8 meters long within a single cell, encodes instructions with near-perfect fidelity, storing, copying, and repairing itself endlessly. These processes are not random. Amino acids assemble in strict sequences. Enzymes function only within narrow ranges of pH and temperature. Energy flows along chemical gradients with pinpoint accuracy. Water, the universal solvent, holds it all together, stabilizing bonds, transporting nutrients, guiding reactions. This is not chaos, but choreography. The reliability is overwhelming. Carbon stability, water's properties, DNA's code, enzymes' precision. Each part is indispensable, and together they form a system so exact that chance alone feels like an insufficient answer. The molecules themselves suggest something deeper, as if life's chemistry were written with intention, designed not only to persist, but to create thought, memory, and wonder. The Moon pulls on Earth with a steady gravitational grip, about 0.041 g, 0.4 meters per second squared at Earth's surface. This subtle force drives the tides, oceans rising and falling in a continuous rhythm that has never stopped since life began. With every tide, layers of water are stirred, heat and nutrients redistributed. Nitrogen, phosphorus, trace minerals, all are lifted and cycled through the sea. Phytoplankton, the invisible foundation of marine life, depend on this endless vertical conveyor. Sunlight above, nutrients below, tides weaving them together. Without it, oceans would stagnate, and entire ecosystems would starve in silence. But the Moon's role extends beyond water. It anchors Earth's axial tilt at about 23.5 degrees, holding the planet steady in its rotation. Without that stabilizing hand, Earth's tilt could wander chaotically under the pull of other planets. A tilt swinging wildly between extremes would turn climates unpredictable, scorching summers one century, frozen winters the next. Seasons, migrations, flowering cycles, reproduction, the delicate timing of life itself would unravel. The Moon seems passive, yet it regulates Earth's heartbeat. It sculpts tides, stabilizes climate, and sustains biodiversity with a precision that feels anything but accidental. Its presence is not just a coincidence of gravity and rock. It reads like placement, as if the Moon were set exactly where it needed to be to keep Earth alive. The Earth is never silent. Beneath its crust, tectonic plates grind and shift, sending seismic waves through rock. These vibrations, though often unnoticed, reshape continents, recycle minerals, and guide hidden waters. Even the atmosphere hums with oscillations, carrying energy across vast distances. Together, they form a planetary heartbeat that has never ceased. Life is tuned to this pulse. Plants sense vibrations in soil, adjusting their growth. Insects and birds follow seasonal rhythms as if synchronized to an invisible metronome. Even human biological clocks remain tied to the cycles of light and pressure that govern the planet. What appears chaotic, the rumble of an earthquake, the glow of a volcano, is in truth a rhythm with purpose. Earthquakes prevent the crust from stagnating. Volcanoes vent gases that renew the air and fertilize the land. Tides, drawn by the Moon, add their steady beat to this choreography. The scale is immense, yet the precision is undeniable. Tectonic plates creep only inches per year, yet over millennia they sculpt continents and raise mountains. Volcanic eruptions regulate carbon dioxide, stabilizing climate and sustaining ecosystems. Remove even one process, and the balance falters. This is not random motion, but a calculated rhythm. Every ridge, valley, and plateau carries the mark of a hidden architect. The Earth is not just matter in motion. It is a breathing framework, designed to endure and to harbor life. So ask yourself, could such precision emerge from chance? Or do you hear, beneath every tremor and whisper, the echo of an unseen hand? Beneath every visible surface, life follows a rhythm almost too precise to be random. Pollinators emerge exactly when flowers bloom, moving genetic material with such accuracy that entire ecosystems rely on this timing. Predators maintain balance, preventing populations from collapsing, while soil microbes recycle nutrients, transforming decaying matter into building blocks for new growth. Ocean currents ferry heat, plankton, and dissolved minerals across thousands of miles, connecting polar waters with tropical seas. Each of these processes is a cog in a vast, interdependent machine, not a series of isolated accidents. The repetition is astounding. Migrations, flowering cycles, rainfall, tides, all occur on schedules that mesh perfectly, creating a self-regulating system. Feedback loops, energy transfers, and networked interactions maintain stability across the biosphere. This precision extends from the tiniest microorganism to the largest climate patterns. We may never know the architect behind this orchestration, nor the methods used to set it in motion, but the evidence of design is unmistakable. Life on Earth is not simply surviving chaos. It thrives because it is embedded within a carefully constructed framework, a hidden order that sustains the planet as a coherent, living whole. Life on Earth didn't emerge by accident. It unfolded across billions of years, each step reliant on precise timing. Early asteroid bombardments delivered water and essential elements, but with a delicate balance, enough to seed life without obliterating the surface. Volcanic eruptions released gases that formed a protective atmosphere, while tectonic cycles recycled nutrients and kept soils fertile. The sun's radiation, gradually stabilizing over eons, ensured temperatures stayed within a narrow range where water could remain liquid. Even evolution follows this meticulous sequence. Simple cells appeared only after the planet cooled sufficiently. Oxygenation of the atmosphere occurred later, paving the way for complex organisms. Dinosaurs rose and fell, ice ages waxed and waned, each event creating conditions that shaped biodiversity rather than destroying it entirely. This is not a random succession. It reads like a carefully orchestrated experiment. We may not know who or what arranged this sequence. The mechanisms, gravity, chemistry, biology, operate naturally, yet the precise order, the exact timing, and the balance of forces suggest more than chance. The history of Earth appears as a narrative written with intention. Billions of years of stability, punctuated by events that allowed life to flourish. Every era, every shift, every cycle hints at a guiding hand shaping the conditions that let life thrive as we know it. Gaze into the night sky. Galaxies twist in elegant spirals, stars cluster with precision, and planets orbit in exact, measurable paths. The universe is not random noise. It carries symmetry, rhythm, and balance across scales both immense and minute. Humans are drawn to these patterns. Our brains detect order in faces, flowers, and even the arrangement of distant stars. Symmetry signals stability, predictability, and safety, and it resonates with life itself. Consider a galaxy's spiral. Millions of stars moving in perfect synchrony, shaped by gravity, momentum, and angular force. Binary stars orbit each other with mathematical precision. Even at the quantum level, particles obey consistent probabilistic rules, generating predictable patterns. The universe, in every corner and scale, is structured. Every orbit, every cluster, every spiral in the sky points to deliberate design. The order is unmistakable, not chaos, but intention in motion. Among the countless worlds discovered around distant stars, Earth stands apart. Most exoplanets are extreme, blistering gas giants, frozen ice spheres, erratic orbits, or atmospheres hostile to any form of life. Earth, by contrast, achieves a balance so precise it is almost startling. A stable orbit, protective magnetic field, breathable atmosphere, oceans that moderate climate, and a tilt and rotation that produce predictable seasons. All these elements work together seamlessly to sustain complex ecosystems. Life demands more than mere habitability. It requires extraordinary precision. Distance from the sun, orbital shape, atmospheric composition, ocean currents, and stellar stability must coincide. Any shift in these parameters could render the planet sterile, barren of life. Earth's rarity is undeniable. Each feature, from its flowing rivers to its magnetic shield, functions within a network of interdependent systems. The alignment of these factors is not random. It points to a planet meticulously structured for life. We may not know who or what shaped it, but the design is clear. A singular world, extraordinary in its balance, orchestrated to nurture life in ways we are only beginning to understand. Every system on Earth, from the rhythm of tides and the orbit of the planet to the folding of proteins, the timing of pollinators, and the flight of insects, reveals staggering precision. Forests breathe in synchronized cycles, rivers carve paths that sustain life, soil microbes recycle nutrients endlessly, and oceans pulse with currents that distribute heat and minerals across the globe. Nothing is chaotic. Every interaction, every pattern, every pulse of life is interconnected. The world is not random. Gravity, climate, ecosystems, biochemical cycles, and life itself converge in a web so intricate, so perfectly tuned, that the idea of coincidence strains credibility. Life exists not by accident, but within a structure that is deliberate, resilient, and breathtaking in its complexity. Who or what orchestrated this remains a mystery. Could it be a cosmic experiment? A hidden intelligence? A design beyond comprehension? The evidence whispers, and sometimes shouts, that the universe is crafted. Every tree, every insect, every ocean current, every star above bears the signature of an unseen hand. Now ask yourself, you've seen the patterns, the precision, the orchestration. Do you still believe it's all a random accident? Or do you feel the undeniable weight of design? Leave a comment. Tell us what resonates most. Do you side with chance? Or do you sense the hand behind it all? Think deeply. Share your answer. Engage. The universe is watching, and the silence is waiting for your voice. This isn't speculation. It's a challenge. Confront the evidence, confront your beliefs, and speak.